Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We're back here with some evening news for you to discuss the latest Manchester United goings on, all the transfer news of the day. We're going to dissect it over the next hour. How are we all doing tonight there, guys? Welcome in the chat, guys. Paul S, Son Goku 7. How the bloody hell have you been, mate? Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. Long-time legend. What's going on there, son? PJ, Nathan Anazi, Paul S, Kingslayer, Nathan Rhodes, how you doing? Disco Dave getting in here as well. And everybody who's in the live chat, big up yourselves, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for the show. Do us a favour on this live stream and smash that like button on it. Give us a big thumbs up at the start of this one. Share us around if you want as well. That'd be much appreciated. You can repost us on x.com there at the top of the live chat there. We'll shout you out later on. Good evening, the Hoff. What's happening there? Kingslayer, Marco Araujao, Football with Brownie getting in here. Good to see you also, mate. What's going on? Matthew Smith, Colin, Breen Irwin, Duke of Rodtown, and everybody else as well. Big up this community of legends. Let's get stuck into the transfer news and the latest goings on at United then. So, bit of a anticlimax, I suppose. The news coming in that PSG have signed Neves. I think it was 60 million, was it? You know, big money going on there, obviously. 60 million fixed fee plus 10 million euros in add-ons. And Renato Sanchez to Benfica on loan with a buy option. That was confirmed about 6 hours ago. João Neves signs in as a new PSG player. Now, obviously, that is a player that we were supposedly targeting ourselves. So that's one particular prospect that's gone there, obviously, that's no longer, which is a shame. Hey there, Bruce McIntosh. Thanks for your super chat. I'm doing all right, mate. Thanks very much for asking. Yes, mate, I'm not doing too badly at all, lad. Thank you very much for getting in here there, Mr. Bruce McIntosh. Good to see you. And thanks for the super chat, my friend. That's much appreciated, lad. So just to get back into this, I mean, João Neves obviously was a target for United, not a realistic target because of the money involved, which meant we were sort of turning our attentions, obviously, to Manuel Ugarte, looking at the prospect of bringing him in there as a 23-year-old sort of CDM destroyer to come in and do a job for us. But only if the price was right. Only if the price was right. And it turns out PSG are a bunch of greedy bastards. They're basically trying to get us to finance this João Neves deal for them, which we're not prepared to do, it seems, as a football club. So the reports are that the Ugarte deal could potentially be off. This is from David Ornstein. Man United switch midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte and onto other options. Man United do not intend to meet the 60 million euro valuation fee. Plus, we'll only revisit it if PSG price drops. No progress yet. Talks called, exploring other top targets for the right deal. This is via The Athletic from about an hour ago. I've got to be honest and say that I do think that Man United probably should look elsewhere. There's no real sense in paying 60 million euros for Ugarte, guys. It's an insane amount of money. Everybody, please get me your thoughts and opinions in about the maximum you would like to spend on Manuel Ugarte. I'm in the 40 million euro camp. I'm happy, in fact. If Man United are pulling out of this deal and looking for other options, I'm happy. Because 60 million pounds for Ugarte is a rip. And it would just be PSG bending us over, really, and taking us for a ride and getting us to finance their deal. Like, what's that all about? No, 60 million pounds is 60 million euros, I should say, is far too much money for Ugarte. So I'm glad if we're not going in for him. There's got to be better value elsewhere in this transfer market in that position for us. There's links to other players, like, for instance, like Zubamendi. Now, he's obviously a great talent, but the price tag's going to be similar. But it's like, we've got to try and strengthen the team in a lot of different areas, and they're just asking for too much money there, really. That's what it comes down to. Paul S., sorry I missed your super chat there, you legend. Thank you so much. He says, I'm on suicide watch, Mr. P, because of bloody incompetent Ashworth. Fair enough, mate. He's literally been in the job about a week. Fair play to you, Paul. He's been in the job a week, mate. But no, fair enough. I understand what you're saying. Like, obviously, we've got to be trying to get some deals over the line. It started off well, didn't it? A few weeks back, we were signing a couple of players. We got Xerxes in, and obviously we're able to bring in Leny Yoro. Leny Yoro has now been injured for a few months. Nightmare. And we're still in a position where we have to sign lots and lots of players. It is very frustrating, yeah. But we are trying to work on some things behind the scenes, which we'll get into in a moment. But obviously, just on Ugarte, it doesn't look particularly favourable, but then again, this could just be sort of PR spin guff coming from the football club here to literally sort of make it seem like obviously there are, you know how these things works, guys. Man United don't want to pay 60 million euros, we want to pay 30 million euros. PSG, they're prepared to let him go, but only if they get, I don't know, 45, 50 million euros or whatever the price tag may be. They're making it seem like they're holding out for big money. We're making it seem like now we're going to try and look at other targets and look elsewhere to try and play the game a little bit here. I don't think we're necessarily not looking at signing Ugarte anymore, just to be clear. Now, that is the report here, that we're turning our attentions elsewhere and looking at other midfield options. But just because that's what's being said doesn't mean that we're not still strongly trying to sign Ugarte. I think it's just part of the negotiation process here. PSG playing hardball for some big money, and Man United, hopefully, not prepared to bend over and pay ridiculous money for players anymore. Hopefully this is the start of things to come. You know, us actually going out there and making sensible signings. Hopefully that would be the start of things to come anyway at this football club. We've made it, okay, I guess we've overspent on Yoro a little bit this summer already. But if you look at ourselves previously over the last few seasons, we just spend ridiculous money. 85 million dos gastos. You got to be having a bloody bubble bath with a giraffe on that one. So we've got to change the way we do things. Exactly, Luke CX. Well said. Could be a negotiation strategy. Man United spent their transfer budget already. Well, I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I think it's just that there's not great value in this deal. PSG asking for too much money. They're asking for too much money. It's as plain as simple as that, really. It's not that we don't want the player. It's not that we're not prepared to spend some money. I just think they're asking for too much. Maybe we were trying to do some sort of deal with them on loan as well, like with an option to buy in the future, maybe give them a decent fee up front and allow them to get rid of him off the books for a season, and then we've got the option to buy. Maybe they can have a deal done next summer. Perhaps that's still on the cards as well, and maybe that would play into your lacking in the transfer budget sort of theory there as well, Luke. But I don't know. I mean, I just got a feeling like we are interested. We're still interested. The deal's not off, but we're trying to get him for as cheap as possible when we're not prepared to get absolutely bent over and pay ridiculous cash. Interesting, Matthew. Give PSG 20 plus Sancho. Well, with injury issues at the moment and Xerxes not being up to speed, there's reports that Jadon Sancho is going to potentially be utilised as a forward for us in the start of the season. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. We've already got Yoro when he's injured. It is a joke. Justin Maybin, what's up? Rajat, thanks for your highlighted member comment here, my friend. He says, big up to Pig Bro. Great show. Keep it going. Thank you, Rajat. Big up yourself, you legend. Thank you very much for being a member of this channel for 20 whole months. That's much appreciated, mate. Much appreciated there, my friend. Nice one, Rajat. Everyone get some big love in their hashtag 20s for this man who's been a member over here all this time. Proper legend. Okay, so yeah, you know, I'm not even that bothered about Ugarte, guys. I obviously want to see Man United strengthen, do as much as we can. I'm sick of seeing absolute bloody complete fucking colostomy bads like bloody Scotty McTominay starting loads of games for us. I want to see us do business this summer and sign a midfielder, of course. Amrabat still potentially on the cards as a squad player. Smash a 1 in the chat if you want to see us sign Amrabat. Smash a 2 if you don't. But my thoughts on that is, yeah, I'm interested if we're going to be moving on Scott McTominay. Still reports and talks about Scott McTominay potentially going to somewhere like Fulham this summer. We'll see if he actually wants to leave. We'll see if that is a concrete offer. We'll see if there's even potential for the contracts to be discussed and agreed upon because of how much we pay our players, etc. We'll see. There's a lot of if ands, buts and maybes and if nots going on with trying to sell our players because they're all overpaid, they're all overhyped, largely shite. And the problem when you're trying to sell players is, yeah, you can sell shite players, but they have to be on shite players' money. And we've got shite players who are on good players' money. And therefore it stops these shite players wanting to leave Manchester United because they're on an absolute gravy train with biscuit wheels at Man United, aren't they? With the amount of money they get paid for being shite. And so it's like, it's hard to convince these absolute little melts to go. That's the reality of the situation here, I think. Paul S has sent in a super chat and Ruddy's deleted it, mate. Ruddy, what's going on there, mate? Why have you deleted Paul's super chat? He sent in a super chat, lad. You deleted it before I've had a chance to read it, lad. I don't know what's gone on there, Ruddy. How you doing, Ruddy? What were you saying there, Paul? Hey, Zayn Miasi, thanks for your super chat. Says Leny injured. So how has the squad improved, Piggy? Well, we've signed Xerxes. He's going to improve upon the squad. Some of our youngsters have developed. I mean, Kobe Mainu had a great Euros. He's only going to be better and better and better as the days go on. He's such a young player. The same can be said for players like Garnacho. So we should have organically improved a little bit. And if you actually look at some of the signings or some of the youngsters that we could potentially see a little bit more of this summer or this season that we've seen in the summer, Collier, potentially Amas as well. I'm worried about the left-back spot, guys. We need to sign a left-back, I think, more so than a right-back. We need a left-back. However, Amas does look really, really good for a youngster, and I think he's got a lot of potential, which is great. But it does concern me over on that side when we've got Luke Shaw, the Frey Bentos Pie extraordinaire, who gets injured every other week, and Malacia, who, well, he's been out for a year. So it does really concern me, that left side, but we'll see. I do think Amas looks good. We've improved in terms of organically improving by youngsters improving, getting better experience, all that sort of stuff. But we've also hopefully improved a little bit with our signings. We've not done enough yet. Things are getting concerning. They were looking good, then we've had a stall. A few weeks have gone by and we've not signed anybody, but I'm pretty sure we're still looking to sign players. You know, so Zane, you say we've not improved our squad, but I think we seriously have. And you're talking about Leny Yoro's injury like he's out for the whole season. He's out for a few months. Just on that very quickly, as a little detour here. So there is an update on that from earlier on today, which is that the surgery from Leny Yoro there that Leny Yoro's had today was a big success. So reports say a couple of hours ago, United defender Leny Yoro has today had a successful surgery on his foot injury. Yoro's rehabilitation starts now, and we look forward to the 18-year-old returning to fitness in around 3 months, read a Man United statement. So 3 months, guys, and we'll have a new player. Let's hope he stays fit and doesn't get an immediate injury again. Surgery's a success. Let's get a hashtag get well soon Yoro going in the live chat there. It must be pretty shite for the lad and also awesome at the same time, because he's just signed for one of the biggest clubs in the world on ridiculous cash, 150k a week for a youngster or whatever he's on. Ridiculous money. But then he gets instantly injured. It must be quite a deflation going on there, but I'm sure the bank account's not really feeling too bad at the minute. But even so, like, he obviously wants to get in there, get going, and he looked really decent in that first game in the pre-season friendlies that we had when Yoro started. He looked good, and then he got injured. It's a nightmare. So hopefully he will be like a new signing coming back into it then. But all the more reason for us to have to sign new players in various positions to strengthen, you know, like, for instance, Ligt. Yoro is out injured. We don't want to be left with Victor Dwindloff and Slabo Maguire starting games again. That would be truly shite. Hey, thank you very much, Paul S. Sorry, I don't know what Ruddy was doing there. You're an amateur, Ruddy, lad. No, he's pocket deleted your message there. It's all good. It happens. Paul S., I'm guessing this is what you said originally. Sorry about that. He says, I said we needed new players in weeks ago. The season is starting. So true, Paul. How many times do I go on about PPP? Piss poor planning, piss poor performance. You've got to get the season prepared for early doors. You've got to get the players in, get them ideally on tour, having pre-season fixtures, working with your team, working with your coaches, bedding in, gelling in, understanding, getting chemistry on the go with your teammates. This takes time. You can't just expect to be signed on the last day of the transfer window, slot in and do an immediate job. You need time to bed in. You need time to settle. I completely agree with you, mate. And time's running out for us on that front. So what is it? The 10th, we've got a game in the Community Shield against City, and then the 16th, the Premier League starts. That's 11 days from now, guys. And you're absolutely right. We have shat it. We were doing all right. And then we were looking at getting Ligt in about 3 pigging weeks ago, and it's turned into a mini De Jong saga. And, and then the same goes for the likes of Mazraoui. Now same goes for Ugarte. It is frustrating. I am very much feeling it as well. I know. Time is running out. But let's just hope that they can do some business in the next week. I think there will be a sense of urgency about trying to sign players now from Man United, and we'll hopefully find out a little bit more. If we're not going to go for Ugarte, if PSG will not reach an agreement with us, a fair agreement, then we've got to turn our attentions elsewhere and actually go and sign somebody sooner rather than later. Exactly, 18 years of age. Yeah, absolutely. Still such a great player to have in our squad for the future. Zamiashi says, Marino next for us, Piggy. Whatever, Zane. Whatever, Zane. We don't care about that necessarily around here, mate. This is a Manchester United transfer news show. We're not talking about your absolutely guff club who, they huff and they puff and they blow nobody's house down because you never win a damn thing, mate. When's your last Premier League title? Oh, yeah, it was 04, mate. Yeah, nice one. The only deflation which is going on is Euro's value. There's a reason why Real Madrid pulled out. Incorrect football with Brownie, spoken like a true bluebird. The reason why we did overpay, no doubt, to get our man and convince them to sell him to us, and for us to obviously get him, we probably had to overpay in every regard, wages, everything as well, because Real Madrid were interested. Real Madrid did want him, just so you know. They did want him. I think they were prepared to go up to something like 30 or 40 million euros or whatever it was. And we just basically priced them out of the move, didn't we? They were not prepared to go as high as we were. So we've overpaid for him. Okay, there's always going to be that element of when you drive a brand new car off of the forecourt, you instantly lose a bit of the value, don't you? But in this regard, let's hope it's like when these rich bastards buy a Bugatti Veyron or something for $1 million back in the Dizzy, and then now it's worth $5 million. Let's hope that there's appreciation that takes place. And let's hope we did sign a Bugatti Veyron and not a bloody Citroen C3. Do you know what I mean? Let's hope he does develop into a Bugatti of a player for us, because that's what we need. But actually, he could appreciate in value significantly. The guy's 18. We're signing an 18-year-old player who's got a lot of big potential for the future. There is always a depreciation with players when their contracts are running down. But no, I think this guy with a long-term future at the club, in 6 years' time, he's going to be 24. Could be one of the best players in the world then. So I actually think, yeah, there is a depreciation now, obviously. But long-term, we could be seeing his price tag reach new heights. I'm not saying it's the same, but look at when we signed Rio Ferdinand for huge money. Now, he'd obviously done a lot more in English football, West Ham and Leeds and stuff, and, was clearly a ridiculously talented player ready to play against the men and everything. So it was different, but we still paid a shitload of money for him, and then years later it looked like chump change. So I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I disagree. Mate, thank you, Paul S. Big up yourself there, Paul S., for the super chat. And players who refuse to leave should train with the women's team. Mate, why are you putting that hex on the women's team, lad? Do you know what I mean? That's what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, mate? There's equality going on here, mate. What are you trying to say? They should play with the youth, the under-18s is what you meant to say. That's what you meant to say, mate. There's nothing negative about playing with the ladies there, mate. You know what I mean? What are you saying there, Paul? No, that would be a positive thing, Paul, in this day and age. Zane says, who would Ten Hag play in the film Sleepy Hollow? I don't know. You're gonna want me to say the Headless Horseman, aren't you, or some shit like that, mate? Listen, I'm not interested, Zane Miassi, in your absolute guff tonight, bro. We all know that Eric Ten Hag's famous film role is portrayed by Dan Aykroyd in Coneheads. So that's just a ridiculous comment from you there, Zane. Anyway, so let's move on, guys, to the latest news about Ligt and Mazraoui. We've discussed the Ugarte deal. It's kind of in limbo at the moment. I guess it could potentially be deemed as off if Man United are reported to be turning their attentions elsewhere. But as I say, it could just be some sort of a PR move from Manchester United to try and increase a bit of pressure on PSG, or maybe make them slightly more likely to want to sell him for less money if they think that we might be turning our attentions elsewhere and looking to spend money elsewhere, that they may lose this sale. Because they have just spent 60 million on João Neves, remember, guys. So they are looking to try and offload him. Now, whether that's in a loan move capacity, whether that's in a permanent transfer capacity, there has to be an agreement that's suitable for all parties here reached, and that's just not happened at the minute. Could be off, but still, I think Man United's still interested in Ugarte. We're just trying to get him for less money. Let's talk about this, though. So a few hours ago, 8 hours ago, Fab just reported that Manchester United are prepared to return in talks with Bayern for Matthias de Ligt and Leny Mazraoui. Agreement until 2029, plus option already done with both players days ago, now working on the club side. The players camp confident as they're only waiting for United. So, look, it's very frustrating, guys, isn't it? So we're trying to work on both these players with Bayern. I don't really understand the hold-up on the De Ligt transfer at all. It's like, they want 50 million for him? Okay, great. Let's pay the fucking money. How are we not paying 50 million for De Ligt? He's absolutely worth it. 24 years of age, bang-on player. Don't understand why we're not prepared to spend a little bit of money on a player like that. We want to get him for absolutely nout. Ugarte's a bit different because Ugarte's 23. He's not as big as of a name. De Ligt is 24, had the experience, played in big teams like Ajax, Juve, Bayern, obviously. He's got that Champions League experience. It's like, he is worth it. I don't really understand the hold-up in the De Ligt situation. It's just us being tight, money-grabbing bastards as usual and trying to shave a few pennies off, probably to fund the fucking Glazers' bloody summer vacation in Cabo or some shite. And, rather than actually try and strengthen early doors. Like we were saying earlier, it's very important to get players through the door early in the summer so that they can settle in and work with the team and everything. And we've not been able to do that by and large, not at all. So it is pretty piss poor that we're taking all this time to sign De Ligt. The situation is as much as it was a couple of days ago, really. Maybe perhaps that we are looking to now go back for a further round of negotiations. There are reports coming that we're trying to, we're still trying to make headway on the deals there with Bayern Munich, and hopefully that's true. Hopefully we can see an agreement reached very soon. Look, I'm not bothered about Mazraoui, to be honest. I know everybody wants him, but I'm not overly that bothered about him. If you look at his stats, though, in terms of what he could bring to the side, his passing stats, his creation stats, all very impressive. Definitely very good for what we could perhaps be lacking over on that side when you look at Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka was a bit sus in the last game we saw him against the Scousers. I really like Wan-Bissaka, but the situation there is, let me give you the update there on that as well very quickly while we're just talking about it. Wan-Bissaka, here's a bit of a report here from Matt Hughes that reports that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is demanding a multi-million-pound payoff from Manchester United to leave the club this summer. West Ham are willing to meet Man United's 18 million valuation for Wan-Bissaka, but they cannot afford his wage demands, leaving the deal in limbo. All right, fantastic. It's another gash situation where players don't really want to leave because they're onto a big money spinner at United and they're not going to get paid as much elsewhere, really. But you know what? I don't even want Wan-Bissaka to go. I thought the whole point of Wan-Bissaka wanting to go, or us getting rid of Wan-Bissaka, was that he wanted to go. I thought he wanted to leave. And if he wanted to leave, surely money should be a secondary thing. It does seem to me like, really, we were trying to move Wan-Bissaka out. Why would he want to leave, even if he was a bit part player at the club? He still played 29 appearances last season for Man United. I don't really understand the situation there. He's a good, solid defensive beast. But look, Ten Hag obviously wants to do things a certain way. Wan-Bissaka out, Mazraoui in. Could potentially give us more creation and ability to play out from the back and all that sort of stuff. But we'll lose a little bit in terms of defensive guile. But anyway, just to give you the update there as we were diverting there from the De Ligt and Mazraoui information. Mazraoui's much the same as De Ligt. We're still in talks, still negotiations ongoing. They are getting a little bit closer in terms of these deals, but they could also just fall down at any time. United just need to pay the money for De Ligt, certainly. We've got Yoro injured, a big money signing, new signing that was coming in to play a role in our squad, first team squad, and he's been injured for 3 months. We've got to sign another centre-back, otherwise we're going to be ended up playing with Slabo Maguire. Do you know it's bloody 5 years since we signed Slabo Maguire at the football club, guys? 5 fucking years at this football club Slabo Maguire's been here, collecting 6 figures every week for being some sort of statuesque bloody Gollum lookalike. Or not even a Gollum lookalike, actually, to be fair. More like fucking, I don't know, Sauron or some shit. He's just a fucking absolute bloody complete geriatric melt. Like a real slow, boring, awful defender who's not really lived up to it United, and we've had him for 5 years. What a shit 5 years, guys. Doesn't Harry Maguire just basically encompass everything that's wrong with this football club, though? It's not that he's not a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I like him. Nice guy with a smile. I like him. Nice guy. But you know what? He's on huge money and he's shite. And we paid huge money for him and he's shite. And he's still here and he's shite. It's 5 fucking years and he's shite. We've had that guy for 5 years. 5 shite, long, arduous, horrible, turd-filled years. I've had enough, mate. When you see that we've had him for 5 years, I've had enough, guys. It's time that we did something. It's time that we made some changes. It's time that we did go and bring in De Ligt. It's time that we got these deals done early in the transfer window so we don't have to fret and worry to the last of the bloody transfer deadline. So there we are, guys. Mazraoui and De Ligt still not done. Hopefully getting closer. Hopefully negotiations ongoing. But right now, it just seems like we're not prepared to pay quite the money that Bayern are looking to pay. Pay the money. Get him in. Get the players in. And also get rid of some of these shite players that are still lingering around our club. That's something we want to see Ineos able to do. Now, I know it's hard because a lot of these players, they are paid so much money and they're just on such a winner at United. They don't want to go. But still, we've got to work something out. Maybe we do have to start paying players off to go, to pay a remainder of a contract. Just pay him off and get him out of the club and move on. Let's put that era of absolute atrocious fucking slabtastic behaviour behind us. So we need to start getting a little bit serious in this window, getting a couple of the shit players out and signing a couple of players. The time is running out. I do feel the concern about the start of the season because literally It's on us now. We're 11 days away from the start of the season and we haven't done the business required that we need to do. We're not that much stronger than last season. I think we are a little bit stronger than last season because we've got Inzerks, we've got a little bit more forward depth. Sancho's come back into the squad. That's arguable whether that's made us stronger or weaker, actually, but he's come back into the squad. It's not like we're weaker, but we're certainly not that much stronger. We've got to do a lot more business. Do you know what other business I'd be interested in? Okay, here's a little... I'm just going to go off on another tangent here, folks. Hang on, sorry, I missed something in the chat here. Big up to... Who is it there? Big up to Atalay, mate. Thank you, Atalay. Big up yourself. Thank you for being a member over here, lads. 7 months. McTominay to Galatasaray. I'm a Turk from Gala. Hey, Atalay, thank you so much for your comment. 7 months had gone around these parts. So I did see a report earlier, though, that Galatasaray were cooling their interest in Scott McTominay due to price tags and wages and things like that required from the player. Obviously, Fulham's still interested as well. Look, I don't know. I'd like to think that that could potentially happen there, Atalay, and that would be good for you guys. He is a good player. But I don't really see it happening. I think if Scott McTominay goes somewhere, it'll probably be within the Premier League or, you know, maybe like Spain or something. I don't know. But I think he would more realistically go to a club like Fulham. But who knows? Galatasaray is a much bigger club in a lot of ways, you know. So who knows? If Galatasaray can afford him, if they can pay us some money, and if they can pay his wages, then yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to him, mate. And it's not that he's not a good player. He is a good player. It's just that he's not good enough, mate. And he also, like I say, represents this era of absolute shite, along with players like Harry Maguire, and it would just be a nice symbolic message to send from the football club to say, nah, no more of that. Those days are done. We're gone with the shite, and it's out with the old shite, in with the new. It would be lovely, wouldn't it? Thank you very much for that, by the way, mate. Much love. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, guys, a little bit of a tangent, and it's very much not realistic, but let's just talk about it, because I don't understand why we're not that interested at the moment. But here is a report here from David Ornstein that says, opening offer from Newcastle United to Crystal Palace for Mark Gahey has been submitted. Proposal made in recent days after Newcastle opened talks with Crystal Palace last week in an attempt to sign the 24-year-old England international defender. Anybody else interested in Mark Gahey other than me? Smash a yes if you are, guys. I think that if he's actually on the cards, available at a reasonable price, he's also another player that I think we could do a lot worse than. Like, he's 24, and he's England international. He had a great Euros. I mean, I don't really understand why we wouldn't be looking at him. I'm not saying he's going to reinvent the wheel or anything, but if you're talking about United getting better depth and better quality in depth, you could do a lot worse than Mark Gahey. You know, if you're trying to get rid of players, if you're trying to get Lindelof and Maguire gone, you could sign the likes of Ligt and Mazraoui. Well, why not? If you're actually getting rid of shit players and also maybe raising a bit of capital by selling players, you know, Sancho might still go. We got rid of Mason. You know, why the hell not? I'm telling you now, he's a decent option, and we're just going to go and let Newcastle United go and get him for maybe a reasonable amount. We'll see. Yes, there's Nathan. Yes, there's Kingslayer. No, there's Rashad. Yes, there's Howard. Yes, there's Twisted Fate. Maybe PJ. We do have a tendency to melt players, but he's the right sort of age as well. That's the point. Gahey's better than Maguire. Oh, definitely, J.U. son. I think so too. Maguire's going nowhere, mate. He's your main man. Sadly, he isn't. Sadly, he isn't going anywhere. You're right. He's too much on a winner here at the football club. What's up there, Urbano Valdez? How you doing? Hey, Keanu, Steve. We'll do a little rundown in a moment. I'm just going through the news here real quick, but we'll do a quick rundown of everything we discussed in this video, lad. He's an interesting defender. Absolutely. Yeah, well, interesting, Gavs, but that's what they want. But that's not what they'll actually get. And the reason I'm even talking about this is also because, like, well, clearly there's other players that we're trying to sign now that teams are looking for too much money for. Ugarte, they want 60 mil. Surely that means we've got to now think about signing somebody else. Or, you know, if Bayern Munich are looking to get 50 million plus a shitload of add-ons for De Ligt and it just becomes not that favourable for us, we've got to start looking at some other options. I'm just saying I think he's a good option. I like him. 24, think he's a good talented player. But it's not going to happen. That's why I said before I started talking about this, it's very unrealistic. It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying I would like it. Why is my talking not in sync? Oh, yeah, shit, it's not, is it? I don't know. I don't know, mate, to be honest. No idea. My computer's shite, maybe. It's got something to do with that. I don't know. Maybe that's better, guys. Is that better now? Let us know if that's better. I don't know. But you're right. It's slightly out of sync there. I don't know what's going on there tonight, mate. By the way, we got 175 legends in the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you for watching this Transfer News Update show. Smash that like button on it. Give us a big thumbs up. Hit the likes on it. Help us get to 169 likes. Every little like does help the channel out. It's free to smash the likes. So smash it up there, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get yourself subscribed. We're on here most days with all the latest goings on and big United news. We cover it all on the channel. Watch-alongs, transfer news, all the latest news and big bits of breaking stuff. So get yourself involved by subscribing and smash a like. And let's be having you. Tommy and Joey play football. Thank you, Tommy and Joey, for becoming members of the channel there, you legends. Let's go, Tommy and Joey. Everybody get some big love in the live chat there for Tommy and Joey. That's me and my brother's name, mate. Me and my brother's name, lad. Let's go, Tommy and Joey. Thank you so much indeed for becoming a member there. That's awesome. Gungshi, you legend. What's going on? How you getting on there, Mr. Gungshi? Thank you so much for joining us. Balos Warlock as well. I have seen that film, yeah. It's dubbed, never been Pig's real voice. I don't know what's going on. I'll try and fix it for the next stream then, guys. But yeah, maybe a little bit of guff going on. Gungshi, a legend. Natalia Zamina, the mustard. A lot of legends getting in it. Our goalkeeping position's definitely concerning, mate. Yeah. Anyway, let's just get into the other stuff I wanted to discuss, the other bits of news that there are in regards to United today, and then we'll do a rundown of what we discussed for anybody just getting in the stream, and we'll also have a Q&A. So, as I mentioned, yeah, Gahey would be a cool addition. It's unrealistic, not going to happen, obviously, no way. Neves signs for PSG. Ugarte situation pretty much looking like we're looking at other options now due to PSG asking for too much money. There's links to Zubimendi, which are quite interesting as well, but they're looking for about 60 million for him. So could be sort of similar money. But if you are going to spend that money, maybe you want to get a little bit more for your money. So I would probably rather be more interested in Zubimendi personally anyway. Also, as I say, Yoro's success with his surgery, that's great. This is something I wanted to talk about today, folks, which is the naming rights for Old Trafford could potentially be sold off. You know, or not even necessarily Old Trafford, but if we were to build a new stadium. So let's have a look at this bit of information here. So this is via The Athletic earlier on this morning that just said that Snapdragon, the company which sponsors Manchester United shirt, is interested in securing stadium naming rights should the club decide to sell them to help fund a new Old Trafford. So if we were to build a new stadium, maybe we would be interested in selling the naming rights off. Yes or no, guys? Is that something that we should do? Let us know. It's a huge no from me. To be honest, it's a huge no from me. I don't like it when clubs do that. Now, every single club out there, more or less, a lot of them anyway, they do that. And it's a really easy way to generate money. There's loads of it, guys, going on. I understand it. It's an easy way to generate shitloads of cash. It is. But there's just something so historic and traditional about Manchester United. It just seems wrong to have, like, it called the Snapdragon Stadium. We'd all still call it Old Trafford or New Old Trafford or whatever it would. We'd still all call it by its actual name anyway. So it wouldn't make much difference. It'd be kind of like when Mike Ashley changed St. James's Park to, you know, the Sports Direct Arena or whatever the shite it was. You know, it'd be kind of like that. Everybody still calls it St. James's Park, you know. So it would have that sort of effect. I mean, maybe it doesn't really matter. It's a way to generate cash. Some people could perhaps argue that, well, it's a little bit sort of backwards thinking if you're not prepared to move with the times and do things like that. All the other clubs are at it. Loads of other top clubs sell off their naming right to their stadiums, and it's a very big generator of income for them. So why wouldn't you be prepared to do that? I understand it, guys, but I just don't think it's right for us to do that as Manchester United. I don't think it's right for us to do it, personally. It might be right for other clubs to do it, but it's not right for us to do it. Tesco Trafford, yeah, and where do you draw the line, you know? Who's going to be sponsoring the football club in the future after that as well? Maybe after Snapdragon. So after Snapdragon, you know, it's sold to the Always Ultra fucking Stadium or something. You know what I mean? It'd be absolutely ridiculous, wouldn't it? The Jorex Stadio. You know what I'm saying? It'd be fucking shite, mate. You can't have it. You've got the Glazer Arena. Hey there, Cineman, what's going on? Exactly, the Glazer Arena. Ineos. I could see Ineos doing it, though. Can't be the Ineos Stadium. Well, yeah. But the thing is, like, I just don't like the idea of it anyway, is all I'm saying. It's like Man United is a different sort of a football club. We should just have... I don't want the Emirates Stadium. You know what I mean? I don't want that shite. Poundland Stadium. Right, yeah. Frey Bentos Bowl. Love that one, Flip. Luke Shaw would be absolutely in his element, wouldn't he, that? 100%. The Field of Guff, the Theatre of Nightmares. Whatever. Anyway... It's just how it is, guys. It may well happen. I would not be surprised in this modern era. It happens, guys. It happens. And a lot of big clubs sell off the naming rights for their stadium. And I could see us doing that. I could see us wanting to try and maybe, if they're going to build a new stadium, try and finance some of that building of the new stadium by selling off naming rights. It does make a lot of sense from their point of view. So it might happen, and it's a trend in football, and also major sports franchises, they do sell off stadium naming rights. So it could happen, but I don't want it to happen, guys, is what I'm saying. I don't want that to happen. Nice one. All right, cool. Well, let's just get into the live chat for a couple of minutes about that topic, because it is a heated topic, that one, and see what you guys are saying. The Flying Pig Stadium. Yeah, enough is enough, lad. Enough is enough. Debt Trafford, they've destroyed the club. Exactly, Breen. Exactly. The Emirates has sponsored name that sounds really good, though. Do you reckon it sounds really good, the Ravens man sand? I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but it's not like, Highbury or something with some classic, just like history. It's just some fucking company's name. It's a bloody airline, mate. Who gives a shit, lad? The Etihad Stadium, the Emptyhad Stadium. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking shite, lad, when these clubs sell off their naming rights. Fair play to Tottenham, I say. You know what I mean? The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You know what I mean? They haven't sold it off, have they, guys? I don't think it's just called the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? That's raw, mate. I like that. So I mean, I like that. If you can't stay at your current stadium and you have to try and progress as a football club, a la Spurs, then if you go from White Hart Lane, why not go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? That's fucking cool. Do you know what I mean? Rather than some bullshit sponsor from some soulless company or whatnot. It's horrible, mate. So I do like that. Thank you, Dino. Love you too, mate. Pick up yourself, Dino. Hate corporate names. Exactly, Flip. Me too. 100%. If they're going to pay 60-something million a year, I hear you, and that's the reality. They may well decide to do it. Look, us talking about it here is just to have a debate about it because it's news, but in reality, like, we have no say in that whatsoever. We have no say. If they try to finance this new stadium build, I mean, I'm sure we'd all rather have a new stadium, wouldn't we? A real state-of-the-art facility, a £2 billion stadium that's called the Snapdragon Stadium, that we all end up calling New Old Trafford or whatever anyway. I'm sure we'd all rather have that than, sticking where we're at the moment. Not that Old Trafford's not amazing and historic, because it is, but it's like stuck in the 90s, and United as a football club, if we're going to progress, you've got to try and keep up with the Joneses of Spurs and teams like that, who have built modern state-of-the-art facilities and are ahead of us in that term. So we've got to build a new Old Trafford, a new Trafford, but if we are going to do that, maybe they'll finance it by raising the capital of the naming rights, and I guess it's the lesser of two evils to do that, because at least we're moving forward as a football club, but we'll see. We have to let go of history and make new history. Although we had amazing years, it's also now some of our worst in history. Yeah, good shout there, Twisted Fate. You're not wrong. Yeah, no, I'm ready for a change. Totally agree, says Football with Brownie. Clubs who sell their stadium names sold their soul to the devil. Absolutely, Football with Brownie, lad. Completely agree. We should absolutely be trying to do our absolute best to finance our own bloody stadium bill without having to whore it out, to other corporations and stuff like that. Mate, Adam Butler, thanks for getting in here with your comment. He says the Ugarte deal will still happen. PSG just paid a fortune for Neves. They would drop the price. Just my opinion. Adam Butler, I think you're actually really quite smart there, lad. I think it could still happen as well. As I said earlier on in the stream, I think there's a good chance that this is just kind of PR spin from the football club. Man United are just trying to make it seem like, oh, we're looking at Zubamendi, we're looking at other players now because PSG asking for too much. But this is how negotiations work. PSG asking for too much. We play silly buggers for a little while, making it seem like we're trying to sign, the next Marouane Fellaini or something or whatever. We would just try and shop around, make it seem like that, make it seem like we might be leaving PSG in the lurch there and they won't be able to sell their player. And so they get twitchy about it and they're looking to then not get as much money for him. It makes perfect sense. That's what United needs to do, yeah. Is if we really want Ugarte, then we've got to try and buy him for a reasonable amount of money. I'm glad that United, if we are moving away from the deal, though, I'm glad that United are not just prepared to bend over and pay the cash. So, yeah, I think the deal's still on, personally. I agree with you. I think the deal's still on. This is just all part of the negotiation. PR spin from the football club to try and put a little bit of pressure on PSG or try and make them change their minds. Like you just said, they spent 60 million on Neves. Surely they're looking to recoup some money back by selling a player that's not going to play or feature for them very much at all, really, when you look at the midfielders they've got and who they've just signed and everything. It's just they've got to try and get rid of him. There's also another benefit for United is maybe they would be open to a loan move where we pay all the wages and have an option to buy, or maybe even an obligation to buy, but in a year's time might be of interest to both parties. What does it matter to them? Maybe if they can get a bit more money by taking a payment later on and we can get a player and, finance the deal by basically paying off most of it next year or whatnot in the summer. And then we get to try him out for a year. But even if it's an obligation to buy, it just could suit us now because we don't have to fork out as much money at the start. Hey, thank you. Hey, Eddie's Football Waffle, what's going on, you legend? Welcome in, by the way. How you getting on there, dude? Eddie's Football Waffle in here, and Bell691, legends. How you getting on, dudes? You're going down in the upcoming footy quiz, by the way, Eddie's Football Waffle. Absolutely, yeah, friend. Pig's a formidable opponent. I'm not worried, mate. I'm going to batter Eddie lad at this quiz we've got coming up. So Wednesday, we should be on for a quiz around about 8 p.m. UK time, guys. Come and join us. I'm going to batter you. Anyway, come and play the quiz with us, guys. Wednesday. Luke CX, thank you very much for the super chat here. He says, Fan X, preseason in the US is stupid. $35 million revenue. And don't change the name of the stadium. $65 million revenue. Club cannot afford new 100 million player. Fan X again. My club is useless. Can't win. Yeah, I sort of understand what you're saying there, Luke, but United's a bit of a different animal when it comes to generating cash. Like, if the money that was generated, I know it's not how it works with owners owning football clubs, but if the money generated from Man United was used solely for the benefit of Manchester United, we generate hundreds of millions. We've got a lot of income and a lot of spending potential. Like a club like United with the fan base, the biggest fan base in the world, we should be able to finance our own stadium. We should be able to go and spend 35 million or 50 million on a player. I know what you're saying, without selling the naming rights of our stadium is what I'm saying. We're such a huge fan base, such a great football club with rich history. It seems a shame to just, to sell that off. But also, though, I understand what you're saying. Like, pre-season in America generates a shitload of cash for us from the American fan base, obviously. But I'd still rather not have it, and that's no disrespect to America. It's good for the American fans. There's great fans of Manchester United in America. There's shitloads of them. They should be given something every now and again, but I don't think it should necessarily be every summer. I personally think Man United would have had a much better build-up to the Premier League campaign if we'd have just stayed local and played local games at Old Trafford or wherever, in the UK or close by, rather than going to America, because it makes it difficult for other players to link up with you as well. It makes it a bit more difficult for you to do your transfer dealings, I think. So anyway, if the manager and the coaching staff and everybody are out there on the tour, there is going to be some sort of a distraction, it's going to be way more difficult for players to meet you, to fly in, players and meet, you should stay local as much as possible. So I get it. The US tour is financially very, very profitable for Manchester United, as is potential selling of stadium rights. But United shouldn't need that anyway. We shouldn't have to get that extra revenue from that anyway, because we can still make money from games at Old Trafford. We can still play games at home, we can still play games in the UK, whatever, and we can generate big cash. So I just think, I understand what you're saying, but as a football club, Man United, the tradition of our football club, we shouldn't sell ourselves short. And these are a couple of examples of us doing that. We basically, just to generate a bit more cash and to give something to the US fan base, which they deserve, to be fair. But, do they deserve it every summer? No, they don't. Do they deserve it every summer? No. But it gives something to the US fan base, right? I get it. But doesn't it detract a little bit from what we're trying to do for the season? I think it does. I think the excess travel is probably no good. The slight logistical problems that are caused from trying to get transfers over the line, being in having your whole setup over there in a different country. It's just actually a bit of a piss poor way to set up for the Premier League season, I think. Just my take on it. Thank you very much there, by the way, Mr. Daz. Sorry, not Daz. Luke CX for the super chat there, you legend. Daz says we can't back down and it's a good thing. Absolutely, lad. Absolute mon, lad. Hey, thank you for another super chat there, Atale. Thank you for a turkey 110 super chat there, you legend. He comments, McTominay news may not be true, Piggy. Yesterday, a Brazilian named Gabriel Sara was signed from Norwich City for exactly 18 million euros. Thank you for your words, by the way. I'm watching. Thank you, Atale, mate. Yeah, and I hope if Scott McTominay is sold this summer, he gets to go to a good club like Galatasaray, because that would be a good place to play his football. Fulham, as much as they're a very good English football club, you're not going to be playing in major European competitions and shit like that, whereas Gala, they can do that. So I think it'll be a decent move for him. But I don't think it's that realistic of a move. I think McTominay probably would rather stay local, and I also think, can Gala pay the money for Scott McTominay? It's not just the transfer money either. It's also, wages. I think they'd be looking at trying to get, 18 to 25 million for him. And then you've got to pay massive wages. Maybe you would do it. But We'll see. There's lots of factors that have to fall into place there. The first one being, what if Scott McTominay doesn't want to leave Man United? That's a pretty big stumbling block, isn't it? Which is quite realistic, because he's onto a winner here, getting paid shitloads of cash, and he's still in the squad, and he still gets played quite a bit. And he had a good season last season. He did have a good season last season. So maybe he just doesn't want to go anywhere, and you'd have to respect that. And then secondly, are there offers and wages that are actually in keeping with what he wants? Stephen Shipman, what's going on, lad? United on the corner turning tricks. Yeah, exactly. Stephen Shipman, what's going on, you Don? Asav, love you too, mate. Man United will be lucky to make top 6 this year. Yeah, you could be right, lad. I'm still thinking, maybe 5th place is the most realistic for us to finish this season. Guys, I'm going to get into the rundown of... Hey, G-Wolf, you legend. What's going on, lad? I'm going to get into a rundown of what we've discussed here in this video so far tonight. Then we're going to get into the Q&A for a little bit. And we've got a FIFA stream set up, FC24 stream over on the gaming channel in a bit. But before we do that, we're going to have a Q&A. Guys, so the big news of the night, unfortunately, David Ornstein reported about an hour ago or so that United switched midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte and onto other options. United don't intend to meet the €60 million fee that PSG are looking for, and will only revisit talks with PSG if the price drops significantly. No progress yet. Talks called and exploring other top targets for the right deal. So it does look like we're looking at other options. I say good. If PSG are being too greedy asking for this money, let's walk away, look at other options. Maybe they'll lower their price. This is all part of a potential for us to get him for cheaper. I still think we're in for Ugarte, but not at that price. It's a ridiculous amount. So yeah, the club looking at other options in case the eventuality plays out where we can't sign him and we have to sign somebody else. Also, as we mentioned earlier on, the talks are still progressing here. There are talks going on. We're expected to go in for a new round of bidding with Bayern Munich soon for the likes of Ligt and Mazraoui, but no real concrete progress going on there. But it is expecting that, as time goes on, it's getting closer due to the fact that both these players have agreed terms with Manchester United already, and they're waiting for Manchester United to reach an agreement with Bayern in order to come and join Man United. So that's what it is. It is getting closer, even if there's not any real movement. We're expecting another round of bidding very, very soon there for De Ligt and Mazraoui. Leny Yoro, success, surgery, guys, brilliant. He had surgery today, successful. He is still going to be out for 3 months, though, absolute nightmare. Neves signs for PSG, adding fuel to the fire that they'll be looking to get rid of Ugarte and potentially strengthening Manchester United's position in that transfer negotiation as well, which is great. McTominay Fulham as well. We were just talking with our friend Atale there about Galatasaray being interested in Scotty. They're also supposedly interested in Wan-Bissaka to some degree as well, or were anyway. But also Scott McTominay is now willing to join Fulham more than before. This is just a report online via the Muppeteers. I mean, I personally don't really think that... I just don't think we're going to get rid of him. I would like to think it can happen, but I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I think he's just a United player until his contract's up. Same as Slabby Maguire. These guys aren't going anywhere. That's my gut feed anyway. If we can do something about it, though, and actually make them go or change that sort of landscape of them being here as hangers-on and actually make them go, it would be a good message to send for a new era at the football club, yeah. Matt Braga says, if Neves is going to PSG, why are you saying Ugarte deal is off, pig? Are you smoking crack, Matt? Are you on Zane's pipe? At what point did I ever say that Ugarte deal is off? Literally all I've said in this whole video is that the reports are coming from people like Ornstein saying that we're looking at other options now due to PSG asking for too much money. But I said I don't think the deal is off. I think that Man United are still trying to work on this guy and, get him in there. You know what I'm saying? Your title is Ugarte deal is off. It's actually Ugarte deal off ? Because we're talking about this David Ornstein news that broke an hour ago. That's the headline. United switch midfielder search away from Manuel Ugarte onto other options. The deal off? Is it on? Is it off? It's neither nor, to be honest. It's like we are looking at other options. Maybe that's just all PR spin from the football club. I don't think the deal is off. Personally, myself, this is the report here from Ornstein that the deal is potentially going to be off soon due to the fact that we're looking at other options and they're asking for too much money. But I don't think, that's all right, Matty Braga. I don't think personally that it is off though. Loads of reports saying that the deal's off. It's not just David Ornstein. There's loads of other reports saying that this deal is potentially off as well. But I don't actually think it is myself. I think there's still negotiations to be done. I still think the United are just trying to get him as cheap as possible. And now with PSG having signed Neves, I think that the likeliness of that happening is is increased, I think it strengthens Man United's position, you know. Right, let's get into the live chat, guys. Let's get into the live chat for a Q&A. Big up everybody in this chat. Thank you, everyone who's here. I'm going to have a little look at everybody who's reposted us on Twitter as well. Links pinned at the top of the live chat. Every little repost helps spread the news of the channel, so please do give us a repost on x.com. Follow us up at Flying Pig United. But we've got a repost from Kieran, Sanjay Ramatar, The Goat, Richard Wisterpeck, Predator Reborn, and Raj. Thank you to you absolute legends, and G-Wolf as well. Oh, thank you to absolute legends there for sharing the show around on Twitter. Every little helps. Well, let's get stuck into the live chat as well, and we've got 97 likes on the stream. Let's break that 100. Are you what? We can do better than that, my friends. Beacon Brigade, assemble! Everyone take a second to smash the like, get yourself subscribed, and have your say in this Q&A now. We're going to be on here for a little bit. I have got another stream set up, though, on my gaming channel, but we are going to just get into the chat for a bit there. But that's the latest Man United news. Working on Mazraoui, working on De Ligt, and still I think Ugarte's still alive, even if the reports from the likes of Ornstein suggest that it could potentially be off. Right, let's get stuck in. Any news on strikers? No, not really, Urbano. Obviously, we got Xerxes. Hoyland's out injured now for a little while as well, 6 weeks expected. Xerxes not up to speed. There are reports that we're probably going to be looking to utilise Jadon Sancho as a potential striker for us for a while until those guys are sort of up to speed or back. So that's a bit shy. Thank you, Brino, and appreciate that. Nice one. We did it. We got 100 likes. Come on. You're going to be that guy, Twisted Fate. You don't want Ugarte. I don't feel like he will send us forward. Fair enough. I'm not overly enamoured by him either. I think he is good. I think he's a good shithouse type player. He's a rugged player. He's a destructive player. You know, I like him. He's a tough guy. I like that. But do I think he's going to change the landscape that much at United or reinvent the wheel? Not really. I'm actually with you. But I hope I'm wrong there. I hope if we do sign him, he does turn out to be just like the next worldly CDM in the Prem. But I think we could probably spend money on more proven talents as well, to be honest. New person to the channel, Rio. Welcome in, Rio. Thank you for joining the channel here, mate. Top man. Top man. Who scores the goals? Well, you saw Rashford play up top there last, couple of times in pre-season. You've seen, obviously, Sancho in the past stay up there. But obviously I'm hoping Xerxes is going to be scoring the goals for us until Hoyland's back fit. Well, United have finished with no DM. I still got a bit of faith in Casemiro. I know he's really not had a good 12 months, but I've still got a bit of faith in Casemiro. Yeah, Wharton's good on the ball and is pure CDM. I also really like Zubamendi if we're going to go look for players here. What are you on about, how is Wickham Wanderers? What are you on about, Ratchat Lad? We still need to start felling the deadwood. Yeah, spot on. Just don't be within 100 metres of when they fell Slabby Maguire, lad, because that will seriously be a large impact. Maybe get the CDM from Sporting Lisbon. You'd rather have Rashford up there rather than Sancho. Thank you, Eddie's Football Waffle, you hero. Appreciate you. I was just checking to see if I was wearing the Don Piglioni shirt, but I'm not. You can feel the Rabiot signing instead of Ugarte. Oh, I know. He's available on a free. You know, he would be a cheaper option. I could see that happen too. It doesn't inspire the old mate, but I could see that happen. He's a good player, but he's just not really that amazing. Can someone put PayPal at chat? That link won't work for me. What, my PayPal you mean, Bell? You want my PayPal address, mate? What? Are you serious? Thank you, Bellster. What? You want me to put my PayPal link in there, do you? Dude, I will. I will, to be honest with you. If you want it, I will. Right, hang on. Thank you very much, dude. Let's try and find it here, lad. Thank you. Thank you, lad. Hang on. Let me try this. See if that's the one. I'm not sure if it is. Yeah, that's it. Okay, nice one. I will put it in the chat, mate. But, I hope you're not taking a piss at me here, though, lad. Right, nice one. There it is right there. Thank you very much, Dino. You're the most charismatic out there, pig lad. Funny as fuck, you deserve more subs, mate. Thank you, Dino. I do deserve more subs, don't I? You're absolutely right, mate. This fucking algorithm shafted me for a decade, lad. You're absolutely right, I do. No, thank you very much, though. I'm happy with the size of this community, but you're right, we do deserve more subs, mate. Thank you. No, tell your granny about it, though. Tell your friends about it. Let's grow this channel organically. That's the best way to grow it anyway, by word of mouth. Tell your friends about it. Tell your United fans about it, or whoever. Get them involved. Nice one. No worries, Christian Hill. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you had a good night at work. Need to clean house, Melissa Smith, of our signings from last year. Not all, but most. Sadly, you're not wrong, Melissa. Onana's a little bit questionable when we signed him just last year. Anthony Dos Santos 2 years ago, he's a letdown. You know, you're right. We kind of need to get rid of some of the new players that we signed as well. De Ligt isn't even that quick. He isn't good to have if you want United to press high. I disagree, must play, because he's very good in terms of playing out from the back positionally, and he reads the game very well. He's quicker in the mind than he is on the feet, that's for sure. Maguire is slow. De Ligt is slow, but De Ligt is better when it comes to reading the game and positioning. That's why I think he can make up for that little bit of lack of pace, because he reads the game better. Just look at John Terry. He wasn't fast, but he was a great defender because he read the game very well. That's how a lot of centre-backs used to be. They used to be slow, big, strong, large, and just like meaty players who weren't really the quickest, but they would hoof the fucking ball away and be physically strong. You know, but yeah, fair enough. Oh, dude, thank you for the cold, hard £10 PayPal there from Mr. Bell 6891. Guys, everybody get some mad love in there, please, for Belster. He's just sent me a tenner straight to the baby maker. Just a raw tip from the guy there. Thank you so much there, Bell. And obviously he's recovering as well from surgery himself, just like Leny Yoro. So let's get some hashtag get well soons in there, please, there for Mr. Bell. Thank you so much, Bell. That's very kind of you, mate. Sending us a raw tenner straight to the PayPal there. You're an absolute legend. I'll put that towards the house fund, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Legend. No worries, you can't send super chat and even my PayPal in dollars. Don't know what's going on. No worries, Bell. You're a fucking legend. It came through as a £10 my end, mate. So thank you. Absolute hero. Thank you, the musical Duke of Rodtown. Let's get 200 likes. Thank you. Oh, you're a legend, Mustard. Look at that. The Mustard's put a link in the chat there, guys. That's where we're going next. So, yeah, okay, we've had a great chat tonight. It's unfortunate to leave it there, but time's marching on. We're basically going to have to go. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this stream tonight. We have been live nearly an hour. That's good enough, isn't it? Thank you, everyone who's hit the like button. Thank you, Eddie. And thank you, everybody else who's hit the thumbs up button there. Gungshi says, get well soon. Yes, absolutely. Get well soon to Bell. Thank you, Don Gungshi, for getting in here in the Poke Gifts, you legend. And thank you, everyone else who's watched. Big up Rio, Rajat, Cinnamon, PJ. Thanks once again to Bell there. Thanks for all the super chats, people like Paul S. Thanks for sharing your passion. Thank you all the new subscribers. Look at that, we're on 82,939. Hit the subscribe button if you're new and help us get to 83,000. We're so close. Hey, thank you, Gungshi. Yes, you're very welcome, lad. Nice one, Rio. Thank you for getting in here and being new to the channel and subscribing. Big up Atale as well. Thank you for your super chats, mate. Twisted, Dino, and everyone. Look, come back after this video is finished. Keep the debate going. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed in this show. Have your say in the not live comments about, you know, Yoro, whatever. De Ligt, Mazraoui, Ugarte. What do you think we should be doing? Come back and have your say afterwards. But that's the latest transfer news, guys. Ugarte, is it on? Is it off? Reports are that it's off. We shall see. But thank you for watching. You can come back after and have your say. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Please do that. And also come over to the gaming channel now. We are going to go and stream some FC24 action. The Mustard's put the link in the live chat. Let me just pin that to the top. And you guys can come over and join us. We will be live very, very shortly. Give me 5 minutes or so just to get everything changed over, and we will be live. Thank you once again, everyone, for watching. The greatest community in all the land, the Bacon Brigade, the Hamada, the Sausage Soldiers. Shout out to all you Dons and Donesses in this community that make it what it is. Heroes. Right, let's get this link from the Mustard pinned to the top of the chat. Where has it gone? There it is. So it's a footy stream we're doing. We're playing some FC UT Champs over there, guys. UT Champs Weekend League. We're going to have a go at that. The link is now pinned to the top of the live chat there. Click that link at the top. That will take you through over to the gaming channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and that channel, Flying Pig Gaming. If you're not already subscribed to Flying Pig Gaming, please do. And I'll see you there very shortly. Once again, there's the link. God bless you all, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.